Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
And welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jeremy, and I am playing the character of Julian Illix.
My name is Jeff, and I'm playing Jerr Lan.
This is Johnny, playing Chime North.
This is Aaron, and I am playing Sam Feluge.
And I'm Jordan, and I am the Game Master. And we are continuing on with our exploratory introduction of these characters in this world. We are in the capital of the superpower North Belisera. Previously, we had a fire elemental who went rogue and burned out his host before jumping to a new host, which is pretty traumatic. Set the entire military facility on fire. So Jerr Lan, a firefighter, had to go rush to put it out. Chime was actually in the room with the elemental when he went off the reservation.
Tried to kill me.
Yeah. And then for Julian, was investigating a stream of arsons by maybe the same fire elemental, it seems like.
Maybe.
We're not 100% sure. But that's where we stand at this point. Everybody got out of the fire. Sam was going to the facility to get help finding employment outside of the military, and was convinced by their elemental shade that they needed to go, that the two of them needed to go into the building to maybe see if they could help the fire elemental do what the fire elemental was doing.
Bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Fun things. But bad things.
Now, everybody has left the fiery building and are exchanging information, getting statements, things of that nature. So, who has something they want to do and who wants to go first with it?
We'll see, we were all just standing around.
You were talking about going to find
I was going to go find some psychiatric help for myself.
Yes. Do you have a therapist that you work with on a regular basis?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Because I'm already very sensitive to fire elementals, and I have to deal with quite a few of them.
Okay. Now, is your therapist a military individual?
Yes.
Okay. We'll say that they're a captain. Do you have an idea for a name?
Perry Trumal.
Sure. We'll just go with Perry. Captain Perry.
Jeff, that was the fastest response to a name that you have ever come up with.
Are you sure that's not your name?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
That was so fast. There was no hesitation. There was no breath in between.
No.
But when you have a character that you have played for months, my name is...
My name is Willis, I think.
Willis Master Willis. Willis Masterson.
Yeah.
Frederick Emmings.
Dick Grayson. No! You are not Robin. You are not Nightwing.
Robert Lozier.
So Captain Perry.
Captain Perry.
So Captain Perry doesn't work in the building that caught on fire.
No.
She works in the base clinic. So do you go there immediately after the fire, or
Immediately after I've given my statement to the fire chief.
okay?
Military fire chief.
Okay. But you're able to go in her office and you tell the secretary that it's an emergency meeting.
Yeah, urgency. I mean, they're all aware of the fire on base at this point.
I would imagine.
So, as long as Captain Perry's in the office and not with somebody else, I would like to see her.
Okay. Yeah, you can. She's available right now. This is like normally at the time of day when she would be writing her session notes, but I'm assuming that she knows pretty much right off the bat that you would be coming.
Yeah.
So what does her office look like?
Typical psychiatrist doctor office.
Couple of like nice overstuffed chairs.
Yeah, I mean,
Really kind of comfortable looking.
comfortable looking, but it's not ridiculous. Not opulent or anything. It's just standard.
Okay. Any pictures on the walls?
Yes, there's a couple pictures on the wall. Scenery.
Nice wintry landscape.
Well, there's a couple of winter, but there's also a few summer ones that, give the impression of warmth.
Yeah. Summer only lasts a couple months though. In Belisar, right?
Yeah.
It's not an extended
You're
season.
talking about a 6-week summer.
Yeah.
And summer being like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't it though?
No. It would
I
not.
think I drooled just thinking about that.
Well, Captain, today was really bad.
It isn't even lunchtime yet.
Yeah, first meeting of the day, rogue fire elemental.
Oh no.
Literally tried to kill me.
It was targeting you in particular, or do you think it was just lashing out at anybody?
Me first, because I was talking to Ensign Pellick, and he just lost control to this elemental. He tried to punch me with his flaming fist and set my office on fire and ran away. He even escaped custody, but luckily they retrieved him again. I hope he didn't escape again. The last thing we need is more of these elementals just trying to kill us all, hunting us down.
This reminded you of the treatment you told me about that you received from your brother.
Very much so. He was always hitting me, and then as soon as he was old enough, he chose one of those monsters to be in his body.
Do you think that this Pellick made that choice himself?
No, according to his file, he did not make the choice. It happened while he was on patrol during an attack. So this elemental wanted to punish us. He came here on purpose.
How does that make you feel? To think that there are those outside trying to work their way in?
I think the fire is trying to burn us all down. All of us.
Do you think it might have been a spy? Or a destructive agent?
I don't know. I just know the fire is trying to get me. Trying to eliminate me. Hurting my family. Fire's just non-stop. There's nothing we can do to stop it when they get like that. When they're out of control. I saw the man jump out of the 3rd floor window, land and keep running. Because he was being controlled by that monster. What are we going to do about this, Doc? We have to figure out something
Well,
to stop these fires from spreading.
that's not for you and I to decide. That's a question that goes higher up the chain of command. We're more concerned about you right now. What we can do for you. I'm going to recommend that you take a leave of absence.
Okay. Any suggestions for what I do on this leave?
I think you need to work on yourself.
Like fire elementals.
I want you to become a vigilante. And hunt down that which you fear most. No.
I thought you had to become that which you fear the most.
Oh, gosh.
No.
I think that it would be best for you to just take some time. Maybe try and connect with the loved ones who you feel have nurtured you in the past. And also just when you wake up every morning, just look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, I am greater than the fire. I am stronger than the fire.
We need to rescue those people from the fire.
You need to rescue yourself before you try and rescue anybody else. You can't just expect to be able to take care of everybody right away. you're in a place where you're feeling raw. You don't know why this happened, or you don't know if it was something that's personal. You don't know what you can do to get control of it. But the thing is that you need to be able to understand yourself more than understand the fire.
Okay.
So you'll need to take a leave of absence, I believe, and just go ahead and begin working on yourself. We're going to go ahead and put you into medical, not a discharge, but a medical leave of absence for 6 months.
6 months.
That's a long time.
God, can I get one of those?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be nice.
You'll be cut down. You'll be at half pay though.
What about the people that I'm currently helping?
I'm sure that your superiors will be able to bring in somebody else to assist them. The important thing here is taking care of yourself. Also, I want you to meet with me at least once a week. So she gets up and walks you to the door. Stay in touch, okay?
I'll see you next week, I guess.
Yeah. Just go ahead and talk to the secretary, and they'll help you set it up. All right, and who's next?
Well, the logical thing for Julian to do would be just to go back to his place.
Okay.
So he goes back and starts just scouring through the stacks and stacks and stacks of newspapers that he has just piled. Like, some piles are like floor to like head height, looking for just clues.
Speaking of fire hazard.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking for clues on specifically fire elementals. And you see, as he's going through, he's like tossing them into like 3 piles. Like one pile that seems to be very disorganized. Another pile that is it's a decent amount. And then a smaller stack of like newspaper articles that he has made.
So what kind of what kind of information are you looking for?
Well, the different stacks that he has, one is just the ones that he finds are absolutely useless.
Mm-hmm.
That's the disorganized pile. The pile that has quite a bit in it is just anything on elementals that seems like the proxies are not acting as themselves.
Okay.
Just any clues that change in behavior, change in pattern, change in routine, from who they once were to who they are now. And then the smaller stack is specifically doing with fire elementals. One of his goals is to track down a specific fire elemental. So
Okay. So the ones like I'm sure that you have like the articles about the specific 4 fires. Like you have those set aside in a particular place.
yeah, he has those set aside because that's. I mean, he has his personal quest. But he's still got to make
the bills.
Yeah, make money. So
This is kind of an intersection between the contract job and your personal passion.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make a roll for me. We're going to go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Okay. 5D plus 2. 15, 17.
17. All right, you're able to find one specific piece of information, like a pretty large clue. What would that be?
As to the string of 4 arsons?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's do it this way. The reports at the 4 prior to today's incident made mention of an accelerant that was used to start the fires. However, I guess through some research, Julian has found out that if that type of accelerant was actually used in a fire, the fire would not have burned as hot, and there would be little to no traces of that accelerant left.
So it's something that would help the fire start, but then immediately, like, just be destroyed.
Right. So Julian is going to surmise that somebody is going behind trying to cover each of these fires up.
Okay.
in the same way.
So someone is looking to keep the fires from some important clue from being found.
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess the scene is Julian is sitting at a table, just scouring over this stuff, and time is just passing, and he's like dozing off and coming back to, and still trying to look through some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're having a hard time focusing on what you're trying to do.
Right.
And you're just drifting off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sam,
Yes.
what are you doing?
So I spent the day kind of wandering town, remotely kind of looking for a job, kind of walking up to places but never going in places.
So like fruit stores, I don't know, there's too many people in there.
Yeah.
Libraries. At least they're quiet there.
But in general, just kind of don't want to throw myself out there.
Cemetery.
Ooh, that'd be a good job. Do we have cemeteries?
You have mausoleums. The vaults that they would put people in.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that there would be visitors coming to pay their respects.
But they wouldn't want to see it's like going to the graveside service and seeing the gravedigger there. Nobody wants to meet the gravedigger. Same idea.
Oh, she's talking about the wrestler.
Yeah. Then everybody wants to meet the gravedigger. But when it comes time to be evening, I have an old childhood friend that I'm going to try to track down.
Okay.
And so I know what neighborhood we lived in when we were kids,
Okay.
but not what neighbor. So that's where I'm going to start.
Okay. We're going to say that was in the northwest part of town.
Okay.
We're going to say that the town, because it's in a dome, is it in just one dome or is it like multiple domes?
I imagined just one ginormous dome.
Yeah.
That gets larger as the town gets larger?
Well, I didn't really think that the town was pretty much established before the Ice Age hit. The city was.
But does the town grow?
I think you're limited by the size of the dome.
So they might actually have birth regulations.
Yeah.
Like you can families can
And
only have
that's
like
how
two children.
New cities are built when new domes are built.
Okay.
When there's the demand for more population, they build new domes and people have to immigrate.
They select and send people.
You have been chosen to now populate South Consiglio.
Yeah. So you could have smaller cities or towns in between major cities.
I don't know if I like that.
Oh. So
Well,
we
it
can
fits
talk
with
about
the
off
whole
there.
mandatory thing.
Well, it does.
It does.
But then how would Julian have made it to Consiglio if that wasn't his hometown?
Well, people travel between cities.
But you can't settle there.
Yeah. Well, you can apply for immigration to the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go to my old neighborhood in the northwest part of town
Okay.
and try to find my old friend Jessley.
Jessley?
Jessley.
Does Jessley know your secret?
Yes. But does not know anything beyond...
That you have.
Jessley knew me when I was a girl. And then just knows that I disappeared.
Okay. So why are you looking for Jessley?
Because Jessley needs to be killed.
Why?
Because she knows my secret.
Oh my gosh.
So I imagine that the residence section of the town is actually like high rises. It just makes the most sense that you're trying to get as many people into as little land as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
There's no single family homes.
right, exactly.
So I guess I would start by going to not to the building we used to live in case.
She might have applied for a permit to move to another building.
Yeah, I'm going to actually start just in that neighborhood and go building to building, talking to the management, asking about the person that lives there.
Okay. Are you going to try and persuade them that you're some kind of official looking for this individual, or are you just asking questions?
As a matter of fact, I have disguised myself
Okay.
as an official.
Okay. This is a magical skill of yours.
No, it is not.
Oh, it is not. Okay.
It is natural.
It is a natural skill. Okay.
10.
Your disguise is a little easy to see through.
Okay. That's fine. I still walk in.
Okay. What is your perception of how an official should look as they go around asking people questions?
I guess I see a small notebook.
Okay.
They are wearing a blue uniform, like a police officer. My first thought was Sherlock Holmes, but minus the hat. So just kind of uniform, look like police of some sort.
Okay. Do you have some kind of credential, like a badge of some sort?
No, I do not.
That's your downfall. You're trying to persuade people to give you information.
Yes.
So go ahead and make a persuasion roll for that.
Persuasion or con?
A con roll if you have that.
I do have that. Alright, my rolls were on fire earlier. 8.
No pun intended.
When everything was on fire.
8.
Yeah, no. They're not giving you any information at this building.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Yep, you're welcome. Next building?
No, actually, I move. I don't go building to building because, I move.
Well, I just meant next building that you go to.
Yeah, I move a number of buildings away, and instead of asking for her by name, I describe her.
Okay.
A little bit better. 12.
So I'm going to level with you because you don't have a complete costume. It's higher for you to con. It's a 20 for you to con.
Okay.
So that doesn't work.
Okay. So with my lack of success tonight, I am going to go ahead and start making my way back to my living quarters.
Okay.
Domicile.
Because I know that if I make too many inquiries on any given night, then people are going to start.
Have you thought of looking her up in a phone book?
I have not.
She didn't tell him that part.
Do we have phone books?
I would imagine.
I guess I just...
Because you all just exchanged your contact information.
Okay. Then yeah. Actually, I will go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Investigation.
That'll involve an investigation roll.
10, 15.
On the nose.
Alright.
So you're able to find the directory that lists where she lives.
Okay.
And it's actually in the south part of town. The southeast part of town.
Okay.
So you'll need to take a train ride to get there.
I will go ahead and, I'll record her information,
Okay.
and I will hop on the train.
Okay.
Did you rip the page out of the phone book?
No. I did not rip the page out of the phone book.
The most common way to get caught. While you are on the train, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Jerr. You're back at the fire department, I would imagine?
Yeah, once the fire's completely out.
Uh-huh.
Well, once the fire was out, I took all my interviewing information that I recorded and took it over to the military fire chief.
Okay.
And gave that over to him because
They're heading up the investigation.
yeah. And then we headed back to the firehouse waiting for if there's another fire.
In your fire report, just out of curiosity, did you mention the dark spot?
If they mentioned it, then yeah.
You walked through it too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have cared.
You would have just thought it was like dark because of like a
Like soot or something.
fallen debris up above blocking light or something. I would imagine that this one did. That mentioned the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been in the report because of Julian's report.
The fire chief calls you into his office when you get back.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, it's just something's not sitting right about this whole darkness in a
I warned him.
Darkness in the
stairwell thing. It sounds way too concentrated, like a line of dark and light.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it.
Why don't you go ahead and talk to the guy who mentioned it in the report? See if he can give you some more information. Maybe give you an idea of what was causing it. Just so we can really cross our T's and dot our I's.
Okay, I'll look further into that if I can. If he has any more information, I will get it.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
I'm turning into an investigator.
Well, I mean, it kind of was part of your job with
Yeah.
reports and stuff like that.
I will go and use the information I got and contact them.
Okay. Do you want to go to his?
There's no phone number, just an address.
Do you want to? So you want to go to his
Yeah.
address?
I'll head over to his place.
So you're riding on the train from the central hub into the north section. How does your water elemental react to riding on the train?
Not a fan, but
Is this a steam-powered train?
that would be interesting.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either, but
Steam powered indirectly.
Elemental powered.
yeah, or elemental power. A couple of air elementals at the back pushing it.
Oh,
Sort of like the elevator.
yeah, but a train with a sail.
Or it could be like a water trough and water elementals are pushing it.
It's a smooth ride. Let's say that. Let's say that the rail system
Is water
is
powered?
actually like
It's a boat, basically.
yeah, it's basically like a boat,
But
like
it's
the
still-
a
it's still
channel
on a
of
rail,
water
but yeah.
Yeah.
in the rail.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like if you've ever been on a ride at Disney, like
Like the log flume or the...
not even those. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you've
With
been on
less
the
bumping.
like you go through the Epcot Center where they're taking you
Yeah.
through the fish
less
farms
singing.
and stuff. Yeah, that's what it's
No,
like.
the singing's there.
Everybody is mandated. You must sing. It's a small world after all. On
the train.
On the train.
It's the law.
Should have brought my ukulele. I can play that on the ukulele.
It's the law.
As soon as you get on, the doors have closed. Begin mandatory singing now. No, it's not that way. Because then how could you have conversations?
That's the point. The government doesn't want you having conversations on the train.
Yeah.
That is a thought to ponder as we go into this next break.
If you like dungeons with dragons in them, check out Alzamo Soup.
Phil, there's no dragons in these books.
I'm trying to reach our target audience.
Hi,
here.
everybody. I'm Metz.
I'm Phil.
And we're the hosts of Alzamo Soup, a literary podcast that focuses on analyzing long-form speculative fiction, with a focus on the author Gene Wolfe.
We really like to dig into the novels, going real slow and analyzing every little aspect of these books.
Phil is so excited about it, he has a shovel with +3 to digging.
Is that okay?
No, that's not a stat
Is that
at
a
all.
thing? Can I go to the Dungeons and Dragons store in the Dungeons and Dragons game and buy a +3 shovel? Please, please, please say yes.
Absolutely. Here.
I'm gonna roll to buy the shovel.
You fail. There are no shovels to buy.
This is nothing like our podcast.
Absolutely not.
Listen to Alzamo Soup at alzamosoup.libsyn.com or where all fine podcasts can be found.
We're talking about iTunes.
And Spotify.
All right, and we're back. So you take the water train. Is it like more of a ferry system? If it's
Sort of.
Yeah.
I still think of it like a monorail, but instead of being on a rail, it's more like an aqueduct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make it to the north part of town, and you go to the apartment complex of Julian Illix. And what does it look like from the outside?
I don't know, Julian, what does it look like from the outside?
Oh no, I'm on the inside. You're on the outside.
You know, just standard looking apartment area. Stone buildings, 4 or 5 stories high, balconies. So do you work out of your apartment?
Okay. He kind of Jessica Jones it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent, yeah.
So it looks like a standard apartment building.
Yeah, it's up on a slight rise though.
Okay. All right, so you go inside. What floor is your apartment on?
It is on the 4th floor.
Okay.
I climb the steps to the 4th floor. Knock on his door.
He gets up, goes over to the door.
You have to push some newspapers out of the way.
No, the door stays pretty clear.
Okay.
He has a path.
Yeah. Cracks open the door, kind of halfway looking out the door, just like, yep, who is it?
It's Jerr Lan. We talked earlier. I'm the fireman that helped you get that guy out of the building.
Oh, okay. And he opens the door all the way and says, how can I help you?
Well, my chief sent me over here to ask you some more questions about the dark spot.
The dark spot.
Yeah, the shadow that we had to go through.
Okay.
See if you had any more ideas of what that might have been or how that might have occurred.
I mean, there's always ideas.
Let's discuss, shall we?
There's ideas. And
Mind if I
there's
come in?
Ideas.
He says, hold on, give me 1 second. He shuts the door again. And closed one particular door in his apartment. Then come back and open the door. Like, alright, come on in.
Alright. Perception.
And as you walk in the door, part of my spell, I can charge an object or a person with a spell to passively detect and sense the mental state of any elemental that comes close to the charge. And I have charged my doorway, my door frame.
Well, look at that.
Well, that sucks. You now know that I'm a water proxy.
Well, no, I can sense that there is an elemental and their mental state.
Ah.
So I have to cast it on that object.
And he
It's
doesn't
there
know which.
until it's used. And now it's used. So
Okay.
Have to cast it again.
Mental state is calm.
The
Like really
smooth
chill,
surface
mellow.
of a smooth surface of a calm stream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Julian turns and is like, so, having a good day?
Well, if you call what happened earlier good, then sure.
I mean, well, past that. You're having a good
Not
day?
too bad. Not too bad. Some paperwork. It's never fun, but what is?
Alright, so what specifically do you want to know? Oh, you're going to do perception. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to do perception to see. Nope. You distracted me.
Yes, I did.
He rolled a 1 on his wild die with only 2 dice.
So that's a 0.
Yeah.
Unless you have any pluses.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. So my chief just wanted me to follow up about the like I said, follow up about the dark spot. If you had any ideas of what might have caused that.
I do. But as I said before, people in charge don't like to hear my theories.
Well, I'm not in charge, so
But you have to report back to someone who is in charge.
I'm just trying to do my job. That's all.
And he's going to lay it on him. He's like, alright, the dark spot was caused by an air elemental. Rather a mischievous elemental. Couldn't really surmise what their actual purpose or goal was. But you can never trust air elementals. They are masters of deception.
I'm actually going to roll my knowledge
Okay.
to see if I would have known this already.
Because you're rather long-lived, this is going to be a fairly easy roll for you.
With a 6 plus 1, 7.
With 3 dice.
Well, that was the target number, so...
So I don't know whether this elemental was working in league with the fire elemental that was in the building causing the fire. But I have been hired to investigate. I'm thinking this particular fire elemental for a string of fires in the past 2 years that have been mysteriously, in my opinion, covered up.
Interesting.
Covered up, in my opinion, also by the authorities that don't want to hear any of my theories.
That would make sense.
Mr. Lan, is it?
Yeah.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Sure.
Glass of water?
That would be fine.
Alright. Goes to get him a glass of water. Julian is purposely going to make sure that the outside of the glass is wet as he hands it to him. There you go, sir.
Thanks. Dries off the glass with his
And
shirt.
as he hands it to him,
No, because you want the...
I want him to be in contact with water. Willpower. Check of 9. 3 plus 1. Oh, yep, got it.
So your spell that was on the door, does that tell you what kind of elemental it was?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a
So how do you know it's water?
He's just testing.
calm.
He
Calm,
knows
yeah.
it's not fire because
It would have been a tad irate.
The temperament.
Temperament, yes. 14 is what I got. So I successfully, since Julian's hands were also wet, he rubbed his fingers water in between, and is now going to try and communicate with your elemental.
Oh, that's awkward.
You can't touch him.
Because I don't know how my water elemental
We'll communicate.
will
I know.
communicate. I don't know that it can.
It might
I've
just
never talked
communicate.
to it.
It might just communicate through emotion.
Yeah.
He asks telepathically, "What do you know about these fires? Being bonded with one who is fighting fires."
Am I speaking for my elemental?
Since we haven't established how your elemental works, I think that it would be a little bit more logical for you just to give like I was saying, an emotional expression of how your elemental feels about
I
this.
think that it would jump straight to anxiety and a little bit of fear just from being contacted.
So that's all I get is a sense of fear. Now, how does that translate?
You can make all the assumptions you want.
Well, no, I mean, how is that experience for Julian? Can he tell that it's just fear, a sense of fear from the elemental, or is it more like a transferred feeling?
Yeah, I don't know how it would be for Julian, because Jerr would be feeling the fear all of a sudden.
Would you, and would you feel the fear all of a sudden?
I think it would be more of a sensation of a drawing back, like anxiety of what's going on. Like if someone were trying to poke you with a knife, you would like. What are you doing?
Is Julian experiencing that feeling, or is he?
I don't think Julian. Yes, I think Julian is feeling the emotional response from.
But Julian, I don't think you would be feeling it yourself, but it's almost like when you talk to someone who has a really strong, violent, emotional response to something. Like if someone starts crying in front of you.
Right. Then you can see the
Okay, so it's more of sensing the emotion around me rather than experiencing the emotion.
Yes,
That's how I think it would be.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk into a room and you can tell that there's been an argument, and
Yes.
it's just
that's a good way to put
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing here. That kind of. But sometimes it'll react with happiness, and sometimes with sadness, and all sorts of different emotions. It's just that kind of almost sixth sense that some people have for feeling that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that it would just be like, what's going on? Why am I being contacted?
Yeah.
But that's coming across more as a feeling rather than words. Okay.
I think that a young elemental can communicate more in language, and an older elemental would.
Or would it be the other way around? Well,
No, because
I think it would just be
Yeah.
like water and earth elementals would be more of an emotional thing.
Fire elementals too.
fire element's very emotional, but it could be.
But I think it has to do with the age of the elemental, because it's like
I also think it would be the strength of the elemental.
that might be the case. But I was thinking like language is a sign of excitement, and then as you
That's what I was
mellow out, then it's expressing.
Because I was
through,
thinking, like right now, the two elementals we've seen communicating with verbally have both been very strong
Very forceful.
influences.
Yes.
But
also, he might not be completely happy about being a proxy, but he's fairly comfortable. He's had time to grow into that, into the relationship.
Well, I think it's more along the lines of, how when a hyperactive person is versus a mellow introvert. A hyperactive extrovert will be talking and yammering and very open with their emotions and quick and all that, while someone else, myself personally, I would be a little bit slower to talk and.
Well, yeah, and also we've already said that each elemental has sort of a personality of its own, so not all elementals of the same element would act exactly the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
There may be water elementals out there that actually do communicate and talk.
Yeah.
But this one particularly either chooses not to or doesn't know how to or
something.
Yeah.
So all I get is this sense of anxiety and fear and confusion.
Like someone jerking back from being poked at.
Okay. And I guess that means that you start to feel that way.
Yes. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Something wrong with the water?
I don't know.
Julian has a glass himself, is looking at it, is like, looks like city water to me.
There's your problem.
I mean, do you guys have a different tap at the firehouse? I'm sorry, this is what I'm used to.
I don't know what's going on. I don't feel comfortable here anymore.
What an awkward thing to say to somebody that you're interviewing.
Well, you're the one that came here. I told you that people don't like my theories.
This has nothing to do with your theories. I'm feeling very anxious about being here right now. I feel like you did something.
I gave you a glass of water.
Sounds like you're trying to deceive him at this point.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go ahead and make a con roll.
Versus your willpower, Jeff.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
19.
I guess this is a 1. Because I have a +1. I rolled a 6, but then a 1 on the wild die. That was the other way around. That would have been a whole lot better. So yeah, I have a 1 to my con.
I think that you did something. I don't know what or how or why, but I think that you did something. Are you an innate?
Well, the answer to that question is the same as, are you a proxy?
I am. I try not to share it, but I am.
Why do you try not to share it?
Because of past associations.
That can mean lots of things.
Yes, it could.
You can.
Now, what did you do? Why do I feel like I want to run away?
Probably because your elemental is uncomfortable with the question I asked it.
Excuse me? You can talk to it?
Pineapple sauce?
Yes, that's what I can do. I can talk to elementals.
Huh. That's never happened before. It's never talked before.
It hasn't talked before.
No.
Oh. To be honest, this is the first elemental that I've come along that doesn't talk then.
Well, that explains the anxiety. Didn't know how to respond to being talked to.
You managed to make an elemental as socially awkward as you.
I did. I'm proud of that.
Oh, that's great.
So is it actually Jeff, the player, that is bonded to his character?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so anyway, that's how I know why I was 100% sure that there was a fire elemental involved and why there was a air elemental involved in that situation.
Error.
Yes, an error elemental. Because that's usually all they spew, is errors.
That's not true.
Well, I agree with you that the darkness was the air elemental. I've experienced that before in my past. Not to that specific degree, but things like it.
And if I may ask, why have you chosen to be bonded?
That is a long and very old story. I'm not going to share it. Ever. Next time, you could try to ask me before trying to talk to my water elemental. Because that was uncomfortable.
So what you want is a little fair warning.
Yeah. It didn't like that.
Well, there's probably a good reason that it didn't like it. Because I think you have the relationship backwards.
What do you mean?
Where you call it your elemental. Generally, elementals think of it as their human.
Huh. That's something to ponder upon. I think that's a good place to end the scene.
Yeah.
You didn't get you got the information you were looking for, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chime, what are you up to?
Well, at this point, I mean, I'm not really doing anything except for just trying to do detox from this day.
Okay.
So, nothing special on with me for this day.
Sam, you are getting off of the train at this point.
Okay.
In the southeastern quadrant of the city.
So I'm headed towards.
The house of Jessley.
So I'm heading to the place where Jessley lives. So I guess I am approaching the building, and what does the building look like? Is it another high rise? Like
Yeah, it's another high rise. You do see a stray cat though.
Okay, I pick it up and carry it with me.
Okay.
What floor is she on?
She's on the 13th floor.
How are these buildings laid out? Are they like, is it apartments? Is it one house per floor? Is it?
It's more of apartments, but there's like a central shaft all the way up, and it's ramps.
2 or 4 apartments.
You go into the courtyard. It's like a cross type of thing, and each apartment, like there's when you get off the ramp at the particular floor you want, it's like a flat porch along the outside, like that people can have little tables on and everything.
Okay, so as I let's say I'm approaching Jessley's door. Is there a hallway that I have a clear view of her door?
The hallway is outside. It's kind of like, you know how my place is, where there's an outside deck kind of thing. That's what it is. So like you go up the ramp. There are basically 4 buildings connected by the ramp.
Okay.
And each building has an outside deck that you can walk across.
So I'm going to go about 10 feet away from her door, and I am going to cast my darkness spell.
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15. Difficulty 15.
Oh,
Perfect.
Okay. And then I'm going to approach her door.
Okay.
I'm going to knock. I still have
In the dark.
I still have the cat. No, so yeah, just like on the. Sorry,
It's
when I
edge
say
of the
10,
dark.
yeah, the edge of the dark.
Okay.
And I'm going to knock on her door. Still with the cat on
So
her
the
door.
dark's right outside her, like away from the door?
It's just to the side of her door, so she can see out the people. I want her to be able to see out the people.
A small little child, about 8 years old, opens the door.
Well, hi. What's your name?
My name is Rhoda.
Well, Rhoda, is your mommy home?
Uh-huh.
Can you run and get your mommy for me?
What's your name?
My name is Sam.
Sam, her friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute cat.
Why, thank you. Would you like it?
Okay.
Okay, give her the cat.
Mommy, your friend Sam just gave me a kitty cat. What? No, Rhoda, we can't afford the license for a pet in the house.
During that exchange, I'm going to kind of step back and lean on the railing a few feet from the door.
But still in the lot.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll cover it.
She comes to the door. Sam?
Yeah, it's been years, hasn't it? Is she inside the door?
Yes.
Are you still decked out like a man?
Yeah.
Why are you dressed so funny?
This is what I wear usually anymore. Come here, give me a hug.
You're gonna have to convince her.
Okay.
fate point used.
10, 18.
She rolls an 8. So she opens the door and just kind of steps outside.
As soon as she steps outside.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, now hold on. Before you do that, let me ask something. Are we using fate points like we do hero points where you regain them at the beginning of the next session?
That's a very good question.
Or is it use and lose until you earn more?
The way that the rules work is that it's use or lose. I prefer to refresh them.
Okay.
That's a good question as I'm looking down. What are you rolling?
I have to get a 24. And so I'm just making sure that happens. Because I really don't want to mess this one up.
What are you rolling?
I am rolling for Vengeful Void, which literally calls the darkness to rise up and attack this woman. And this one actually requires an incantation. And so, as soon as she steps out, point towards the darkness and say, "Rise, Shade, and attack."
Oh my gosh.
Here. Yeah.
I had needed 24.
49.
49.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It's good to know that I could hit that if I need to. Alright, so out of the darkness, a thing reaches out and grabs her and deals 6d of damage against a woman. What is she wearing?
House clothes?
Okay, good. And then it drags her into the darkness and does the same thing for 3 rounds until she can escape.
Who else? I guess you can't really run away from this.
14, 17.
Yeah, strength damage. Okay, yeah. Physique. So... Yeah, I rolled a 1 on the wild die.
Okay. So she takes 17 points of damage?
Yeah, so that is totally...
That's dead.
Yeah,
Okay, and then
that's dead.
I walk away.
Yeah, so describe how Shade kills her.
So Shade
No,
literally...
we can't see it.
The darkness literally reaches out almost like tentacles. If you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean where he's fighting the Kraken thing,
Yeah.
as it opens up its mouth, it just reaches forward and grabs and yanks back into the darkness.
You hear as her neck hits the railing and her neck is snapped back around and touches her back.
Does
And
her body
then
drop over the
Her
railing?
body drops down over the railing into the 13 stories down to the courtyard below.
Okay. And then I walk away.
And we're going to go ahead and call that the end of the episode. And I think that's pretty much, that's where it goes.
It was extremely dark.
Aaron grinning like a fool.
Thanks for listening. Please tune in again. Hopefully. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.